Dubai. The very name conjures images of the impossible. A skyline that seems to defy gravity. Man-made islands shaped like palm trees visible from space, and an ocean of wealth that has captured the world's imagination. We've all been told the official story, a tale of visionary leadership, relentless ambition, and the transformative power of oil, all of which turned a small desert port into a glittering global capital in less than a single generation. It's a powerful narrative, and it's true. But it's not the whole truth. What if I told you that another story, a quieter and more complex story of enterprise, faith, and discretion, was unfolding at the very same time? What if a key part of this incredible success story has been intentionally left in the shadows, not out of malice, but out of necessity? This is the untold story of the people who helped weave the modern commercial fabric of one of the world's richest and most fascinating cities. For decades, a handful of families played a pivotal yet almost invisible role in its meteoric rise. They were international merchants, financiers, and entrepreneurs who operated with the utmost discretion, their influence a carefully guarded secret, their very presence known only to a select few. This is the story of the Jewish families who navigated the complex worlds of high-stakes business and ancient faith in the very heart of the Arab world. It is the story of a legacy that is, to this day, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be understood. Chapter 1. Humble Beginnings. To truly grasp this story, we have to rewind the clock. We need to strip away the layers of chrome and glass, forget the 7-star hotels, the indoor ski slopes, and the world's tallest building. Let's go back 70 years. Dubai then was a sun-scorched, wind-swept trading post huddled on the banks of a saltwater creek. It was a place of pearl divers, fishermen, and spice merchants. Its fortunes were not measured in barrels of oil, but in the lateen sails of the dhows that carried goods to and from Persia, India, and East Africa. Life was hard. There was no electricity grid, no citywide running water, and certainly no skyscrapers piercing the clouds. For centuries, the lifeblood of this small community was the pearl industry. It was a brutal, unforgiving existence that depended entirely on the courage of its divers, who would plunge into the sweltering Gulf waters with little more than a nose clip and a basket, hoping to find their fortune. This perilous trade was the engine of Dubai's economy. But in the mid-20th century, that engine sputtered and died. The invention of the cultured pearl in Japan, a cheaper, more reliable alternative, sent shockwaves across the globe, and it decimated Dubai's economy. The city, its primary industry rendered obsolete almost overnight, was facing an existential crisis: reinvent itself or fade away into a historical footnote, another forgotten port swallowed by the desert sands. This immense pressure, however, became Dubai's greatest asset. Long before the discovery of oil in the late 1960s, the city's ruling Al Maktoum family understood a profound lesson. Their future could never again depend on a single, finite resource. They needed to build something more durable, more resilient. They needed to become a hub for the one thing that is truly timeless: trade. With extraordinary foresight, they declared Dubai a free port. They slashed taxes, tore down regulations, and streamlined customs to attract merchants and capital from every corner of the globe. They were sending a clear message to the world: Dubai is open for business. The welcome mat was laid out not just for goods, but for people. People with global connections, entrepreneurial spirit, and a willingness to take a risk. Soon a steady stream of Indians, Persians, and Europeans began to arrive, drawn to the promise of opportunity. Among them, years later, would be a small, almost invisible group of expatriates who would play a surprising and crucial role in the city's incredible future.
Chapter 2. The First Arrivals and Quiet Influence. As Dubai's ambition shifted into high gear in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the trickle of new arrivals became a flood. A massive, diverse expatriate community flocked in, bringing the skills, the labor, and the capital needed to build a city from the ground up. This was the era of explosive growth, the period that gave us the iconic skyline we know today. Among this massive wave were Jewish individuals and families, primarily from Europe, North America, and South Africa. They did not arrive as an organized community or as part of any formal initiative. They came as individuals, as professionals, as entrepreneurs. They were bankers, lawyers, energy traders, and diamond merchants, all drawn by the same magnetic pull of opportunity that was attracting the rest of the world. Their influence was never in their numbers. They were a tiny fraction of the expatriate population. Their power was in their expertise. They excelled in fields that were absolutely critical to Dubai's grand strategy of becoming a global commercial hub. They were instrumental, for instance, in helping establish the city's diamond trade, leveraging deep-rooted international connections that stretched from Antwerp to Mumbai. They helped build the infrastructure and trust necessary to turn Dubai into a major competitor against the world's most established diamond centers. They were also highly active in finance, investment, and real estate, contributing their knowledge to the very sectors that would come to define Dubai's modern post-oil economy. One of the most notable, though discreet, early figures was Solly Wolf, a British Jewish businessman specializing in high-end textiles and couture. In the early 2000s, Wolf was personally invited to Dubai by his elite Emirati clients who appreciated his craftsmanship and integrity. He established a successful shop, but his real contribution wasn't just commercial. Through his dedicated work and his respectful approach, he became a trusted and admired figure among the local Emirati elite. Wolf and others like him weren't just doing business, they were building bridges. They were creating relationships of personal trust at a time when formal connections were rare and geopolitical tensions were high. These individuals became a quiet but vital thread in the intricate fabric of Dubai's economic diversification. For decades, they contributed significantly to the city's growth, yet their collective identity and story remained a carefully guarded secret. Chapter 3: A Community in the Shadows. While their professional lives were deeply integrated into Dubai's spectacular boom, their personal and religious lives were lived completely out of sight. For decades, there was no official Jewish community in the UAE. There was no synagogue, no community center, no public sign of Jewish life whatsoever. This was the unwritten rule, the unspoken agreement for a peaceful existence in the region. Early Jewish residents were often advised by friends and colleagues to be cautious, to maintain a low profile, and even to downplay their Jewish identity to avoid any potential scrutiny or misunderstanding. But faith, like water, always finds a way. In the absence of public institutions, families began to form tight-knit, informal networks. They found each other through word of mouth, through business contacts, and through sheer chance. They began gathering discreetly in private homes for Shabbat dinners, for Passover seders, and to celebrate the high holidays. These gatherings were more than just religious observances. They were a lifeline, a way to preserve tradition and identity in a place that both had to remain hidden. A major turning point came around 2008. As Dubai's expatriate community swelled, a few newly arrived families began to more actively seek out other Jews, not just for social gatherings, but with the specific intent of forming a cohesive congregation. This led to the first organized, though still completely secret, prayer services, or minyans. As this underground community grew, so did the need for a dedicated, centralized space. In 2015, they took a significant step. The community collectively rented a nondescript villa in a quiet, anonymous residential neighborhood. This became their secret synagogue. Known to its members simply as the Villa, it had no signs, no Hebrew letters, no external markings to suggest its true purpose. To any passerby, it was just another family home. But inside, there was a sanctuary for prayer, a fully kosher kitchen, and a space for the community to finally gather as one. It was a monumental milestone, the first new Jewish congregation established on the Arabian Peninsula in centuries.
a fact known only to its members and a few trusted Emirati officials. Leading this underground community was an incredibly delicate balancing act. Ross Creel, a South African lawyer and businessman who had moved to Dubai with his family, emerged as a respected lay leader. He found himself navigating the fine line between serving his community's spiritual needs and ensuring its security and discretion. For years, they were a congregation of whispers, a testament to resilience, faith, and persistence hidden in plain sight within one of the busiest cities on Earth.
Chapter 4: The Transformation, from Secret to Sanctioned. The quiet, cautious tolerance the community had experienced for years was on the verge of becoming a public, formal declaration. This shift was not happening in a vacuum. The UAE itself was on a rapid journey of transformation, actively working to position itself as a global beacon of coexistence and modernity in the Middle East. In 2016, in a move that signaled a profound ideological shift, the government established a Ministry of Tolerance. The message was clear: diversity was not just to be accepted, but to be celebrated as a national strength. Then, in 2019, during the government's declared Year of Tolerance, the unthinkable happened. The Jewish community of the UAE was officially recognized by the government. After decades of living in the shadows, they were, for the first time, no longer a secret. It was a moment of immense relief and profound significance. That very same year, Rabbi Yehuda Sarna, a prominent rabbi from New York University, was appointed as the community's first ever chief rabbi. His role was to travel regularly to the UAE not only to lead services, but also to engage in the growing field of interfaith dialogue, acting as a bridge between the Jewish community and the wider UAE society. The infrastructure for Jewish life, once confined to a secret villa, began to be built out in the open. A key figure in this practical, on-the-ground effort was Rabbi Levi Duckman, a Chabad Lubavitch emissary who had arrived in 2014 with the explicit goal of building permanent Jewish institutions. He worked tirelessly to establish Chabad centers, create a reliable system for kosher food certification, and develop educational programs for children. His work was instrumental in moving Jewish life from private villas into the public sphere. In 2020, his role was formalized when he was appointed as a resident rabbi in the UAE. The community that had once prayed in secret was now building a foundation for a visible, vibrant, and permanent future. The villa, once a symbol of their hidden existence, was no longer just a secret hideaway. It had become a powerful symbol of their incredible journey from the shadows into the bright, welcoming light. Chapter 5: Modern Dubai and the Legacy Today. The final and most dramatic catalyst for change was the signing of the Abraham Accords in August 2020. The historic normalization of relations between the United Arab Emirates and Israel was a geopolitical earthquake, and it supercharged the growth and visibility of the local Jewish community. The floodgates opened. What was once a small community of a few hundred has now grown to an estimated 2,000 people and continues to expand, with more Jewish families and entrepreneurs moving to the Emirates, attracted by the same combination of economic opportunity, security, and quality of life that had attracted the pioneers decades earlier. Today, Jewish life in the UAE is flourishing in a way that would have been pure fantasy just a decade ago. Kosher food is now widely available. There are multiple kosher restaurants, including one located, incredibly, inside the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. There are Jewish schools, nurseries, and a robust community infrastructure that supports a full cycle of Jewish life from birth to marriage. The ultimate symbol of this astonishing transformation stands not in Dubai, but in the neighboring capital of Abu Dhabi. In 2023, the Abrahamic Family House was inaugurated. It is a unique architectural and spiritual complex housing a mosque, a church, and a synagogue, the Moses ben Maimon Synagogue, all as co-equal structures in a single shared space. It is a powerful physical manifestation of the country's official commitment to interfaith harmony and coexistence, a statement written in stone and steel. Of course, the journey has not been without its challenges. The community continues to carefully balance its newfound openness with the persistent need for security in a complex region.
Still, the progress is undeniable. The quiet contributions and the patient bridge building of the first arrivals, the businessmen and professionals who became part of Dubai's modern economic framework, helped pave the way. They laid a foundation of trust and mutual respect that allowed for the vibrant, open, and thriving community that exists today. So, the next time you see Dubai's glittering, futuristic skyline, remember the hidden histories that lie beneath the surface. The story of Dubai isn't just one of oil, steel, and grand ambition. It's also a story of quiet contributors, of diverse communities who brought their skills, their capital, and their dreams to help build a new kind of city in the desert. The Jewish families who once practiced their faith in secret were a vital, though long unseen, part of that modern story. They didn't just witness Dubai's miraculous rise. They were a discreet but important thread in the very fabric of its success. Their journey from a hidden villa to the stunning Abrahamic family house is, in many ways, the story of Dubai itself. A story of bold transformation, surprising connections, and a future built on a foundation far more enduring than sand. It makes you wonder what other hidden histories are waiting to be told, buried in the foundations of our modern world. What other secret stories have shaped the cities and societies we live in today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this look into a forgotten chapter of history, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive.